Dave Ramsey's advice has absolutely helped millions and millions of people get out of debt. But what if I told you that following it too literally is the reason why you may not be building wealth? In this video, we're breaking down why debt-free might feel safe, but could be costing you millions of dollars in lost opportunity, and what smarter, more strategic debt management really looks like. Dave Ramsey is a household name in personal finance. His core beliefs are live debt-free. That's one. What's another one? Cut up your credit cards, your CCs. Another one is pay off your house early. Pay off home early. And guys, guess what? These are his three major tenets of life. And guess which ones I believe in? Nope, nope, nope. I think they're all stupid. Talk about thinking a little differently. If you take any one of these two extremes, you are absolutely costing yourself tons of money in retirement. It's just math, guys. On the surface, his philosophy, rock solid. Avoid debt. Live below your means. Never borrow money. Okay, makes sense. And guess what? For a lot of people, that probably makes sense. But that's survival mode, not wealth building. Ramsey's system helps people get out of a hole, but it won't help you build a skyscraper on top of it. Guys, I've seen lots of Dave Ramsey fans. They're in our community. You know what they say? Paul, he is great for getting out of debt. 100%. I've never doubted that. But the problem is he treats all debt as toxic, no exceptions. Is it money owed? Yes, then it's bad. No, that's not true. That is absolutely not true. No mortgage debt? Okay, I get that. No low interest leverage? Okay, I get that. But there's a financial cost to that he is not telling you. Guys, a few years ago, and you can look this up, Graham Stephan had a video with Dave Ramsey in it. And he said to Dave Ramsey, if you were given $1 billion as a loan with 0% interest for 10 years, would you take it? And so fast he said no. And they all laughed at him. Guys, when I tell you even repeating that story makes my blood boil, it is absolutely fucking stupid to say that. You literally could take that $1 billion, put it in a 1-year treasury, collect $30 or $40 million a year, and pay it back, and you would make hundreds of millions of dollars. But he's so fucking stubborn about his no debt thing that he equates 0% and 100% as the same thing, essentially. There is no difference between this. If you think that way, you are going to lose out on millions of dollars. Not all debt is created equal. Guys, debt on your home is a lot different than debt on your credit cards. Not all debt is created equal. And eliminating debt without a plan kills your opportunity. Back then, I made a video where I sat there and said, Dave Ramsey is costing you millions when you pay off your mortgage. Because on his channel, if you call him or any of his cronies and say, hey, I have a mortgage that's 3%. Should I have a mortgage? And their only comment back is, well, do you want to pay interest or not? Well, I don't want to pay interest. There you go. It's like, no, there's a cost to that. And the cost is millions of dollars. If you take that money that you would have used to pay off the mortgage and invest in the S&P 500 over the same 30-year mortgage, you have hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in extra money down the road. When you have a debt of 3% and you pay it off early, guess what return you gave yourself? 3%. That's it. That's not fairy tale. That's not wishful thinking. That's not it is math. When you pay off a debt of X%, that is a return you're giving yourself. Dave Ramsey makes you think you're saving money because you're not paying this interest in the future. He's not talking about what's called the opportunity cost. That money sitting in an investment that can grow at higher rates of return. Nowadays, rates are 7%. Makes it a little bit harder because over long periods of time, 7% guaranteed by paying off your mortgage ain't bad. But I know a lot of people watching here don't have 7% mortgages. The vast majority of people still have mortgages under 4 or 5%. That's a pretty good rate. And I'm not talking about the emotional side of going to bed at night saying, I own my home free and clear. I'm talking about the numbers side of what that means for the future. Ramsey's advice is throw every dollar you have of that mortgage, get it over and done with. Guys, if you can get 8 to 10% over a 30-year period while paying 3 or 4%, why the hell would you do that? Now, if you're 65 and about to retire, that's a lot different than 30 or 35 and have the best earning years of your career ahead of you. Yes, you might save $100,000, $200,000 in interest, but you sacrificed hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in gains. People love to say, I saved $100,000 in interest, but they never ask, what did it cost me in lost returns? Remember, let's go to an extreme. $300,000 house. You have $300,000, you could pay cash for it, or you could put 20% down, have a mortgage, and put the other $240,000 invested for 30 years. What's the difference? Let's go over that math real quick. Let's assume that even the interest rate right now is 6.75%. So you're $240,000 in your account, and over a 30-year period, 9 to 10% is the average return of the stock market. So that $240,000 over the next 30 years is how much? $3.65 million. $3.65 million. Now, if you pay off that $300,000 home, that $300,000 home in 30 years is worth how much? Let's assume 4% appreciation. That's an extra $1 million. So you're with $4.65 million along the way. Okay, a lot of money. That's if you just financed it, put the money in there. Now, what have you paid cash? Well, what's the mortgage on $240,000 at 6.75% interest? It is roughly $1,600 a month. Okay, so now if you paid cash, you wouldn't have that $1,600 a month anymore. What would you be able to do? You'd be able to invest it times 12 months out of the year, times 30 years at 9.5%. What does that equal? $2.874 million. Okay, now, how much of a difference is that? That was $800,000. What was it? Yeah, that was $800,000 in difference. Because you still have the house, it's worth an extra $1 million, so you're at 3.875. $800,000 in difference. Guys, don't get me wrong. That's a lot of money, but is it close enough? I don't know. You got to tell me, is 30% of your net worth it to have a $1,600 payment every month? And by the way, I want to make note, do you have the discipline to put that $1,600 a month into your savings account every single month? Or might you go spend a few bucks here or there? At least with a home with a mortgage, you're sitting here, you can take that $240, you're less likely to spend that $240 check day one. You're more likely to put it in an investment account and make it go away versus $1,600 a month. So this assumes you have the discipline to have that house paid off and $1,600 a month and go spend it. And all along the way, if you ever need a big expense, maybe we'll take a home equity line. So you're actually encouraging yourself to spend more money. In this situation, I can make the argument that debt was actually safer and helped keep you more in check with your spending. Guys, look at my spending. When I think about something that's $500 a month, I go, okay, it's $500 a month, but it's cool. It's like, oh, this membership to this club, I'll just join that. But if somebody said to me, hey, Paul, go spend $60,000 on this, I'd be like, well, wait a second, hang on a second. But that's the difference. When it's a big check, you're going to think about it more. When you put that $240,000 into your brokerage account, you're less likely to pull away from it. You might be different, but this is the discipline you need to have there. This discipline's a lot harder because $1,600 a month, that's easy to, we just do this little trip. Oh, we saved $20,000. Let's go spend $10,000 on a trip. All these things you're doing. The new blueprint that I want you to remember: maintain low interest debt. Don't rush to pay it off. Let inflation and the market work in your favor. Invest early and aggressively. It's better to invest higher dollars earlier than less dollars over time. That's what we showed here. When it comes to real estate, use leverage intelligently. Guys, I just bought a lot of homes for Airbnb high-end rentals. I'm putting mortgages on them. Am I doing 80% loan to value? No. Am I doing 50%? No. I'm doing 65 or 70. Why? Because Airbnb is still unknown. I don't know if all of a sudden everybody's going to be shut down and I have to go sell these houses quickly. I don't want to pull out of my pocket to do that. And guys, remember I talked about credit cards earlier? You're probably like, why did he say credit cards are okay? Guys, credit cards should be your emergency fund for the same reason here. If you have to wait several years, saving 15% a year before you get half of your expenses or a full year of expenses into an emergency fund, you sacrifice the most important years of savings. Guys, I'm not saying go nuts. I'm not saying use debt as cash. That's not what I'm looking for here. What I'm saying is the extremes are probably both wrong. One extreme is have no debt. The other extreme is everything is debt. I do believe in don't have car debt. Sit there and buy a car you can afford to pay cash for. Unless you're getting some incentivized rate, but even then, what's your incentivized rate going to be? 0% for 3 or 4 years? To sit there and guess where the market's going to be in 3 or 4 years, not worth it. Just pay cash for it. That's my personal opinion. And I also telling you, if that $800,000 is okay to lose because you sleep better at night knowing you have no debt and knowing you have the discipline to put that money away in savings, more power to you. But here's where it gets interesting, especially for real estate investors. Instead of rushing to pay off your mortgage, go use that capital, buy one great property per year. I assumed this was on 9.5%. What if you took that $240,000 and invested it in a real estate deal? And that real estate deal could make you 15% per year. What's that $240,000 in 30 years? That alone could be $15 million. When it comes to reinvesting cash flow, taking it, refinancing it, reinvesting cash flow. Guys, I can afford to pay off my mortgage today. I don't do it. Why? It's 4.25%. I have 1,000 units upstairs amongst single-family homes and apartment buildings. They all have debt on them. Why? Because I believe in using that money to go buy more properties. Now, I'm not the crazy 20 years ago developers who have 95% loan to value. No, I'm doing 70 to 80% on the high side, 80%. And 80% only when it's a property I've owned for a while and I understand what's in it. I'm not doing it on new acquisitions. So imagine 20 years from now, instead of that paid off house, you've got 20 rental properties. You've got positive cash flow. You got tax advantages. You got equity. Ramsey would hate that. By the way, he'd probably say, that's great, good for you, but you got to make that sacrifice. Take a little debt on. It's okay. Your future self would love it. People don't give enough value to their future earnings potential. You owe somebody something. You owe yourself more. You owe yourself more growth. You owe yourself more wealth. These are the options you have when you're smart about debt. If you're absolutely fearful of debt when it comes to real estate, do me a favor, 50%. Here's why. What's the real fear? You have to sell it quick? Guys, if you buy a property and put 50% debt on there, you'll be able to sell it in all likelihood, not have to come out of pocket at closing. I'd rather have you be smart about it, have all this real estate built up and generating cash flow. So while everybody sits there and goes and brags and says, oh, I have my house paid off and my car paid off, you can be like, great, I have my home and I've got 20 rental properties giving me $20,000 a month in free cash flow. That's the smart thing. Don't confuse emotional with strategic and mathematic. I get it. The emotional part is super important. Being able to sleep at night is super important. But Ramsey's appeal is purely emotional. He makes it seem like it's numbers driven. Well, do you want to pay $100,000 in interest? Yeah, I do. I do want to pay that. Emotion doesn't build wealth. Process and strategy does. Don't be reckless. It's about knowing when a paid off house costs you your future. Peace of mind is wonderful, but if it costs you almost $1 million, you better understand the trade. Let's be fair. There is a situation, a scenario where Ramsey's advice holds up. As interest rates are high, 7-8%, paying off your mortgage early can give you a pretty decent return. You're like, okay, 7 or 8% guaranteed versus putting it in the market at 9 or 10%. I can get that math. I absolutely do understand that. But the point of this video is to sit there and remind you there's a cost to everything. Don't make it seem like just because you're paying interest, you're losing out. He isn't right because of strategy. He's right because the math finally caught up with his stupid narrative. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Right now, paying off your mortgage can make more sense, but don't forget why it makes sense. And by the way, if you're 25 years old, I would argue it probably still doesn't make sense. It's okay to be a little uncomfortable. It's okay to have your back against the wall so you're forced to work a little harder. You don't have to be debt-free to be free. You just have to know how to make debt work for you. If you made it this far, you already understand that Dave Ramsey is great for getting people out of debt. But if you want to build wealth, especially through real estate, you need a better plan. That's what we broke down here in the next video. So go watch that now. Thank you for your time.